Outi, from the European perspective, can you please enlighten us?
Hello, it's nice to see you all here, and thank you for Gerhard Law for providing the opportunity to be here. And I would also like to ask whether any of you has ever had filings, patent filings or applications or patents or trademark applications or trademarks within European region. Great, at least. In fact, quite many of you. And first, I will tell about myself. I have background in patenting, and I know that field better than trademarks, but I will try to cover also trademarks a little bit. I will first tell a few words about the European market and Europe, and then shortly discover patentable subject matter within Europe, and then tell about various options for filing, applying protection in Europe, and then finally tell something about the so-called community patent to come to Europe. And first I start that a couple of weeks ago I was studying or lecturing to the doctoral students in Finland, and I asked why they think that patent might be important. There was a complete silence, and they were thinking, and then finally one raised her hand and proposed, "It looks really good in your CV." Okay, that's of course fact. They were students and they must get a job and so on. Of course, patent application shows that they have been made an invention that can be put into practice. But however, I emphasized to them that patent application or patent, it should not be a scientific merit primarily or any trophy. Patent application or trademark application, they are always commercial tools. That kind of commercial tools that aim to get you a financial benefit or at least your money back. And many of us know that this kind of benefit, financial benefit or revenue can be obtained in several ways. Most common way is to protect own production, keep your competitors away, and so you have freedom, you get to sell your own product without competitors too close. Then other known systems are to license out your product, and patent application in scientific field is also a very good tool to negotiate funding or all kind of cooperation on that. And why I was discussing that, I just wanted to remind you that even if you by yourself are not going to put up business within Europe or sales, it's possible that you will get revenues from Europe by, for example, licensing out or selling your applications on IPRs there. And then European market size, it's nice to discuss after hearing the figures from China. However, China has 1.4 billion people about, India has 1.2, but then if we take a European region as a whole, it has 720 million. It's about 2 times as much as there are people in US. And Germany, France and United Kingdom, there are altogether 212 million people. So only these 3 big ones, they are remarkable market, at least from European point of view. And European market, it's not growing, or at least it's not growing strongly, but it's stable. And legal system relating to immaterial property rights is rather settled. And generally taken, the rights are well respected. In case they are not, then compared to United States, an injunction is relatively easy to achieve. So enforcing your rights is tolerable. And then few words about what can be protected using patent within Europe, and I discussed this mostly compared to system in the United States. Firstly, methods of treatment or any in vivo diagnostics or that kind of sort of invasive methods, they cannot be patented. However, usually within Europe there is no difficulties in protecting so-called naturally existing products, that kind of 101 problem in the United States. And new medical uses for non-medical products are patentable within Europe. It's so-called second medical indication. And then methods of doing business are not patentable. I wonder whether the United States is the only place where they can be patented. And as in several other jurisdictions, computer programs as such are not patentable. They must relate to some real entity, for example, how to process sounds digitally or that kind of things. And usually there is some way to protect your invention within Europe. It can be found. And how you can get protection in Europe? It is still possible to file several applications country by country for patents or trademarks for each country. This is a good option if you know that you need protection, for example, in 2 or 3 countries. But if you need a broader geographical scope, then it's, I would say, extremely expensive option. Then you will have several parallel prosecution processes. You have several foreign agents and their costs, and most probably, or translation requirements for national filings, they are higher. So in that case, it's good to consider filing using these harmonized systems, and they are available, that kind of centralized routes for both trademark and patent protection. Firstly, there is a community trademark, and it allows you to protect 27 countries in the European region by just a single application. And in that sense, it's a cost-efficient tool to protect your brand and usable also for service providers, which patents are often not suitable for that kind of things. And whereas national trademarks are based on national legislation, that community trademark is based on regulation by EU, and it's valid in all members, and also the protection is also harmonized in the EU. And this community trademark can coexist with the national trademark, but they cannot be enforced at the same time. And as it comes to copyright protection, unfortunately, so far, it has not been harmonized within the EU. My colleagues tell that a lot of effort is being invested to this process, but so far it's not possible. You have to go country by country, unfortunately. And for patents, it's possible to apply European patent using centralized examination and grant procedure in front of the European Patent Office. And when compared to US practice, there are certain differences in the prosecution phase. Unity considerations are usually more liberal, in my opinion, and the style of providing arguments on inventive features are a little bit different. There is no grace period mentioned by David at all within Europe. So if you have had a scientific abstract, then it's possible that you have destroyed your possibilities to protect within Europe. And then Europe has one very strong feature. They apply a most strict approach to so-called added subject matter. So if you are considering filing a patent application within Europe, it's very good to tell it to your patent attorney in the United States already when you are drafting the application, so that taken in mind that certain features must be met. And in Europe, after grants, it is possible to try for third parties to try to revoke the patent or narrow the scope by filing an opposition against the patent. And oppositions are quite efficient tools. About 70% of the opposed patents are either revoked or their scope is narrowed. I think it's not very commonly used for US applicants. Sometimes it is, but compared to going to court, it's cost efficient and centralized system. And what was then? And when European patent is granted under the harmonized system, okay, I have been a little bit slow, then it will result of a bundle of national patents, and they will be treated as several national patents, and they must be unfortunately enforced nationally. So you cannot treat them, you have to enforce them state by state. And soon there will be hopefully a so-called unitary patent, and that will be that kind of system that examination is made as it's done now, but you applicant can request that it will be turned to a unitary patent, and that will be then be that kind of patent that it will cover most of the European states, and it can be enforced as a one patent, and it will then be in a way simple solution and provide at least several different strategic possibilities for applicants relating to the protecting in Europe. And yeah, and if I was not able to express myself clearly, please don't hesitate to send me an email. I will do it in written then. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.